All right, YouTube. So I wanted to take this time before we actually show you the next set of videos. Um, so I'm going to talk about a couple things, two, three things. I'll talk about a couple things here. The first thing is flaps done. They're on the rack. All right. Second thing is that the reason to have a technical advisor and resources. Now, I'm fortunate enough, I'm blessed that I'm at the airport where one of the number one RV10 RV builder assists this happened to be. So I've got a plethora of resources here. And yeah, I've been blessed. I mean, it just worked out that way. But you need to have a technical advisor. That's why it's important that you join the EAA and you get with a building group so you have a technical advisor. Stay off the web. There's good information on the web, but there's a lot of bad information too. So you'll get in trouble and everything. And when in doubt, call the mothership, call Vans. Vans is going to tell you, actually, this is what I will tell you, what they told me when I had a question. They said, we didn't test it for that. We didn't test it for that type of configuration, so we're going to tell you can't, you shouldn't do it because it's not tested. It's not flight tested and everything. So that's, they didn't build an airplane the way I built my airplane. We're going to get into that here in a second. Not my airplane, but my flaps. So if you guys remember, I've got huge hands. I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm built like a NFL linebacker, just old and broken in a lot of ways. So the thing is reaching my hand between the spaces, if you think, where the tail comes together, I was spreading out as I was opening up, I was spreading out, and I saw that I was putting little like indentations into the rivets to reach in there. Now, they make a tool to do that. I tried to use that tool for these, and for some reason, it just didn't work. The same thing, it was spreading them out too far. And I didn't like that. And you guys saw my other videos where when I did that, I just wasn't happy. So I decided Vans allows you to rivet the bottom skins, a blind rivet, using blind rivets. So in my infinite wisdom, I said, well, I'll just blind rivet everything. I mean, they allow us to do it, so let's go ahead and do it. So the problem with that is this. It's the rivet that I use. It's not blind riveting, it's the rivet that I use. I use a CS4-4s, and you guys saw that in the videos, right? And so my technical advisor and the APs and everybody that I talk to every day and that come over and they're interested in what I'm doing, and they come over and they look at my work. And I have them inspect. I don't have nothing to hide. I want to build a safe airplane. First thing I said is they're like, that might work. They said that will be a highly inspected area if you keep it that way. And which means that I can keep it that way with using those CS4-4s, but I need to inspect that area like diligently, like every 50 hours, like when I do an oil. Don't even wait it's not 100-hour, but I'm going to do a 100-hour inspection on my planes, just because I help out with 100-hour inspections on airplanes, and a lot of things we catch in 100 hours, believe it or not. A lot of guys would. And for those that don't know, 100 hours, this means every 100 hours of flight, you inspect the airplane for different things. A little bit more detailed than a normal just walk around inspection. You take covers off and you look at stuff. Where an annual, which is normally where a normal plane would do that. 100 hours airplanes are used for flight schools and commercial, and where you're for hire. You got to do a 100-hour inspection instead of annual every year. So they said, yeah, it's just going to be a highly inspected area where you're going to have to inspect the junk out of it. Well, yeah, okay. I don't like that answer, right? I mean, yeah, it's doable. You can do it, and okay, we'll do it. It's not the right answer though. I want something that's going to be rock solid. So one of the things that that we're going to be doing is going to be replacing that rib line. I'm not going to replace because the rivets, that is by design. That's the design. That's the rivet that Vans told you to use on the ribs going up, not on the spar, which is the big long piece. This is a spar. Those I'm gonna take those rivets out, those CS14, and I'm gonna replace them with Cherry Max. Cherry Max rivets are a higher shear strength rivet. They're considered structural rivets. Boeing uses them. Those are rivets that are designed. They have the same, and in some cases they're actually shear strength, which is the lateral forces. So think of a rivet going down through the center here, and those pieces pulling apart like that, and that's the shear strength. At what point will those pieces break apart? Right, that's shear. And the Cherry Max has a higher shear strength and also has a higher target. It would pull apart this way too. They're considered structural rivets, where the CS4-4s, those are not considered structural rivets. They just hold things in place. So yeah, I'm gonna cut those out. Not cut them out, drill them out. They're easy to drill out, no big deal. When you buy or when you get the quick build kit, a lot of the rivets that are in there they put a lot of the rivets just to hold the pieces together. Like I said, they're not structural. They're intended to be drilled out and then re-riveted. So that's what I'm gonna do. I mean, it's no big deal. Glad we caught it. Not caught. I mean, like I said, I have every part inspected by an IA or an AP before I sign off. There's a lot of things that we've done that you guys will see me using safety wire, and those are just the IAs and the APs guys, the inspection guys and stuff that my resource say, yeah, I'd put a safety wire on that. So you'll see me do safety wires where. And a lot of times Vans doesn't even have you do that. They just have you put torque indicators on it and stuff. So yeah, so you really need to get hooked in with the EAA or find yourself a good A&P or an IA, which is an inspection guy. It's a step up from an A&P mechanic. And a lot of those guys will help you for free. They're not even going to charge you because they're fascinated. Even though they work on planes all day, they're fascinated by the fact that you're building an airplane. They stop by all the time. It's amazing getting work done. But yeah, so we're going to replace. So in the video, you're going to see me using the CS4-4s. Those are gone. We're going to eject those, and we're going to replace those with the, along the spar, we're going to replace those with the Cherry Max. Like I said, they said I could keep it, but I just have to inspect the heck out of it, right? Make sure that the shear, because you got to think about these are two surfaces that overlap each other. Rivet goes through and into the spar, and those are the flaps. So you're going to drop. So you're going to get downward pressure on that trailing edge as the air hits it and pushes it down. So you're going to get some shear on that. Is it enough to break that rivet? Who knows? I don't want to find out. So let's, I'm not, it's an experimental aircraft, but I'm not a test pilot. So I'm not going to test it out. Might be a good time to talk about a BSR, which is a parachute for the airplane. So no, we'll just replace it. And that's, guys, you're going to make, I don't want to say mistakes. You're going to make judgment calls that might not be the best call. Make sure you have that team. I guess the purpose of this is, the purpose of this part of the video is to say, hey, look, it's okay. It's an experimental. You can make those modifications and those changes, but make sure you have knowledgeable people to help you make those decisions. I just made it thinking, oh yeah, Vans allows us to do it, so I'll just continue on with the rest of it. And there's nothing wrong with doing the blind rivets. Like I said, it was just the rivet I used was the wrong rivet. Now I know. I now know, and you guys know, that a normal, here, I just happen to have one here on my desk. This rivet right here This is a CS4-4 and everything. It's aluminum rivet. It only has a shear strength of about a couple hundred pounds, not near enough for a structural. These are not to be used as a structural rivet. These are just, I don't want to say decorative, but just a fastener. They just fasten parts together. But if there's going to be any forces or structural need, you don't use these rivets. You use what they call a Cherry Max rivet, which are designed for that and have a long history of success in those applications. So yeah, so I'll be drilling them out. But, you know, it is what it is. So the Cherry Maxes, I got to order about 400. It's not cheap. 100 Cherry Maxes at manufacturer discount, wholesale discount, or not wholesale, but I pay full tax, so that way I don't have to worry about it down the road with getting it registered. You're looking at about $54 about 100. So yeah, you know, I'll get those ordered, and you know, no harm, no foul. Made a decision. I am still happy with the fact that I did the blind rivets in those areas, because like I said, it kept me from, because I know for a fact I was doing more, I was doing more potential more damage by spreading those skins apart the way with getting my meaty hands in there. Vance's reaction to that was find smaller friends. I don't have any friends. No. I know, you know, you're going to find it's kind of like if you have a pickup truck, everybody becomes your friend around moving time. You know, when you have an airplane, everybody will be your friend when it comes time to flying it. I have so many people who, and I'll have to say, I've had a few that have shown up. Steve, out of the great, awesome guy. Bill, awesome guy from our EAA group. They actually showed up to help me rivet very early on when I was at the storage unit. Great guys. Yeah. So Richard is always awesome. Denny, you know, but the thing is that these pieces here I needed to do because they need to be done right. And I know that's kind of a strange statement to be making right now when I told you that I did them wrong. Yeah, right idea, just wrong execution. So, but we'll get it fixed. It's no big deal. It's an experimental aircraft. We learn as we go. I could have just not said anything, and you guys would not have known. I'm sure someone would have caught it. But yeah, it is what it is. So after this, we're going to I'm going to spend some time getting the shop cleaned up. I've got my trailer and stuff. I'm gonna get a lot of this junk out of here, and stuff. Get it out of the hangar from the offices. I still got cooking stuff. So if you guys got a church and you're local to the Yankeetown, Dunellen, Ocala area, and you got a church or an organization who needs warming chafing trays, chafing plates and stuff, let me know, because I've got a bunch from the catering business and stuff, and you know, I just got to get them out of here, and I'd rather have them go to a church or an organization that can use them, you know, put them to good use, feeding the homeless or whatever. So, yeah, so I'm going to be spending the next couple days cleaning the shop up, getting it ready for the next evolution. The fuel tanks are coming next week. I got a big day, big day coming up, and everything. So my youngest daughter is graduating college, so I'm gonna be up with her celebrating, and then when I come back, I'm going to learn how to pro seal. I'm gonna learn how to do that, and then we're gonna get back on these tanks and everything. There's a part of me that says salvage the tanks. Actually, I was talking with Jesse, and he's talking me into getting the expanded tanks. You know, the original designer of the RV10 has a tank. I think it's 80 or almost 90 gallons expanded. Since I rebuilding the tanks anyways, he'll tell me what extra parts to get. Give me 90 gallons. Jesse Saint iTech, they do 120 gallon RV10 fuel tanks. When you buy one through Saint Aviation, well, you can't get them anymore. They're kind of moving on from that part of the business. But I think you can still get them in Ecuador, get them ordered, but you can actually get 120-gallon fuel tanks. Jesse said that's a little overkill, but the 80 he said is definitely nice to have 80 gallons and everything. So I'm gonna reach out to, since my wings are still here, I'm gonna reach out and see what it will take to possibly turn these tanks into 80-gallon tanks. Yeah, that's about it. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. Look, we got to post our successes and our accomplishments, but we also got to post our failures. I mean, that's part of learning. Nothing wrong with it. A lot of people, you're building an airplane. You got to be look, I've been around airplanes long enough to know, even manufactured airplanes, manufactured in a sense from, professional, I'm not going to call it names and stuff, you'll find things. Being a builder has made me a better pilot. I can look at things on an airplane and say, that's not right. Had that instance, just this weekend. Things that thank God I was the pilot of that airplane, doing a pre-flight, found an issue, and a major issue. The type of issues that that can cause serious problems. So, that's why I build my airplane, because it makes me a safer, better pilot. I know what to look for. I know what doesn't look right and stuff. And trust me, I've seen a lot. So I'm starting to ramble. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to work. But I just wanted to shoot this video as a precursor for the next video. So that way you guys have it. So when you see the CS 4-4s, I don't want to hear anybody flaming me, go, oh my gosh, you used 4-4s. If you watch this video, you know I know. And everything. That's how I'll know. But all right. But that's all I had. I just want to say, God bless, be well. Gosh, I got to go get groomed up. I got to get cleaned up. New Lycoming. Thanks to Lycoming for my new hat. I saw them at Son of Fun, by the way. That's a Lycoming hat. And on that front, 5 more months, my Lycoming will be here. So 5 more months. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting time. This is a really exciting time in the shop, because all of these little parts are going to start coming together to make an airplane. So stay tuned. And like always, God bless.